Hi everyone! A while ago I put a community tab post up asking for your recommendations, the products that you simply cannot do without, your ride or die products that you just really look forward to applying first thing in the morning or at any point in the day. So I have been working my way through your list. I've been buying them and trying them for myself, and boy, you did not steer me wrong. So all of the products that feature in this video are recommendations from all of you that I am loving at the moment. It is not too late to add your recommendations to that list if you missed the post in the beginning. I haven't got to the end of it, and this is definitely not going to be the last video like this that I do if you like the concept. So, if you're new here, hi, my name's Gemma. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. It's lovely to see you again. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, I would love it if you would show this video some love with the like button, click the subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos like these. First recommendation from you is the Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked palette from Hourglass. I wasn't going to pick this up. Generally, I don't pick them up every single year. I do love an Hourglass palette. I think it's a great way of dipping your toe in a lot of products from Hourglass at a fraction of the cost. But a lot of the times I have a lot of the shades that are in these palettes already. This one intrigued me, however. So this is the Snake palette, and it's actually the deepest of all three tone ranges that they actually do, which may surprise some of you because I do have a very fair complexion, but I also love a punchy, deep blush, something really rich, and this definitely delivers on that. Look how beautiful this palette is. The reason I went for this one, which again is the deepest in the collection, is because it has 5 new shades in here. So I'm adding 5 new shades to my collection rather than duplicating shades that I already have, which in the color palettes 1 and 2, I already had a lot of those shades already. So this is definitely the best value for money for me. Although, because it's the deepest shade within the collection, there are a couple of things that I am going to have to be a little bit more wary of. This finishing powder, which is in the shade Radiant Light, is slightly deeper than I would usually go for. Obviously, that is my fault, not the palette's fault. And also the Strobe Light, which is a brand new shade, stunning. It is in the shade Infinite Strobe Light, gorgeous, just a warm gold tone. I can use this, but I do have to be careful what I team it with. So if I'm wearing a foundation that is really fair, that's the same shade as my natural skin tone, and I'm not wearing any bronzer, probably wouldn't reach for this one. But as for the blushes and the bronzers, I can use this regardless of what foundation and what other products I'm wearing on my skin. They blend beautifully, they are punchy, so if you do have a fair skin tone like mine, you do have to be cautious because you don't want to be over applying these. They are glorious. The sheen on the surface of the skin is beautiful, very, very skin-like. It's like they melt into the skin, but the pigment is definitely there, so just be warned. So from left to right, let's do the top shelf first. The only old shade in the palette is the finishing powder, which is in Radiant Light. Then we've got all the brand new shades. So we've got the blush Coral Haze, then Infinite Strobe Light, Sunbeam, Mystic Flush, and Solar Bronze. The blush I have on today is Sunbeam. I could not resist. I cannot stay away from this shade. This is definitely my favorite in the entire palette. If I want something slightly more diffused, I will go for either of these middle shades. However, this one, hands down favorite. It is so special. There's that sheen on the surface of the cheek, but it still looks really natural, blends in beautifully, and it just looks so girly and fresh. And even though there's that sheen on the surface of the skin, this does not accentuate any texture or pores that I have. I just think it is stunning. So thank you very much for a lot of you who recommended this to me. Like I said, I would not have picked it up otherwise, but I am definitely not regretting my decision. So I'm going to move on to a couple of lip products. We're talking lip hydration, lip moisturization, just luscious, plump, full, really looked after and cared for lips. No flakiness whatsoever. Both of these products deliver that in abundance. One of them, though, I feel is a nicer consistency. And it's bittersweet because although I think it is a phenomenal product that has been recommended to me numerous times by the same person, by the way, I eventually bought this. And yeah, bittersweet because I can't use it. I'll come on to that in just a second. Let's talk about the first one first. This is the Lan Lip Sleeping Mask, and it is beautiful. It was recommended by so many of you, so I had to get my hands on it. Although, after I'd actually ordered it, I realised that my daughter Beatrice already has some within her collection because she does like a really nice lip mask and applies this every night before she goes to bed. So the one that I have is the berry flavour. Obviously, it has a fragrance in there. It also does have a little bit of alcohols to make the formula the way that it is. If you are sensitive to drying alcohol, this one may not be for you, but it has so many other nourishing and hydrating ingredients. If you're not sensitive to that drying alcohol, then you may be absolutely fine by this. So I think it's a really nice formula. It's a thick formula, it's a thick balmy formula, but it's not sticky and it's not heavy. But because it's thick, it does stay on the lips for an incredibly long amount of time. So unless you lick your lips constantly, this is going to remain on the surface of the lip for as long as you leave it there. It's really lovely, feels very comfortable. I'm not constantly smacking my lips together to try and get rid of this like I am with some lip masks. It's just a really nice product. A little bit on the pricey end for me. There are other ones that are more affordable, so if you don't feel like you can push to this, don't feel like this is the all-singing, all-dancing lip mask, because although it's incredibly beautiful and very comfortable, there are other things out on the market, stay tuned for the next one, that are equally as hydrating, equally as comfortable, and do the job just as well for a fraction of the cost. So, although I think this is lovely and I will continue to use it, there are other things out there that you can get your hands on. If you want to try it and you don't want to spend a fortune, this one is actually the mini, which I'm really pleased that I got instead of going for the full-size version, because although I'll use this, B also has them, so I may steal some of hers for a change. How the tables have turned. Next up, we have the Mano Treatment Lip Serum. This is lovely. It really, truly is incredibly thick consistency, which is why it hangs around for a really long time, but also incredibly nourishing, hydrating. There are so many oils within this formula, as well as some real occlusives to lock that hydration in place and not let it escape throughout the day. If you have really dry, chapped lips and you're looking for a new lip balm, this is definitely one that you should be checking out. It is a great recommendation. Truly, I am very, very thankful that one of you, you know who you are, recommended this to me. Unfortunately, I can't use it, so this is going to be winging its way to my mum, because only yesterday was she saying how dry and chapped her lips were, and I said I have exactly the right product for you. This is right up my mum's street, because not only is it a great product and it works, it's also affordable as well. So this has a non-greasy, rich, nourishing, thick balm-like formula. It is packed full of argan oil, jojoba oil, macadamia seed oil, sunflower seed oil, wheat germ oil. It's also got mango seed butter in there, vitamin E, ceramides, panthenol, and honey extract, to name but a few. The problem ingredient for me is the wheat germ oil. If this was a skincare product, as in if I wasn't putting this anywhere near my lips, this would not be an issue for me. But because this is going on my mouth and it does contain wheat germ oil and I am celiac, this is a big no-no for me. I have tried it though, couldn't resist, and I'm devastated. I'm absolutely devastated. I looked it up on the internet numerous times whether celiacs could have products with wheat germ oil in, and it was a no. And I checked about 5 times wishing it was a different answer, but unfortunately it's not. So my mum will benefit where I can't, but it is a great product. And yeah, if you haven't tried this already, this was a great recommendation from one of the Pampered Wolfpack members. Thank you so much for the recce. It's amazing. Let's talk about the Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. People are absolutely gobsmacked every single time I say I hadn't tried this. And I think it's because I was really late to the game and then I thought, well, what's the point anyway? I'm not going to be doing a review on this because it's really quite old now, but the more people recommended this to me, the more I was intrigued. So I can now at least let you know what other foundations compare to this when people ask me, because it's always a question in the comment section every single time I do a review on a foundation. So at least now I can answer your questions. This is such a beautiful foundation. Honestly, the amount of people that has mentioned this to me, either in the pinned post, in the comment section of all the videos, in my DMs over on the other platform, I have lost count how many people. And you all can't be wrong, can you? Can you? No, you're not. You're not wrong. It's such a lovely, lovely foundation. It's really quite, I would say, a very natural foundation. You get a very natural finish. Have this on my skin today. I think it looks incredibly pretty. Is this going to be a foundation that I reach for every single day? No, but I'll get onto that in just a second. So this will give you, I would say, light to light medium coverage. If you're after something of more of a medium to a full medium coverage, I think you shouldn't really be buying this because it's not really for that purpose. You will be able to get that out of it, but it will change the look of the foundation considerably. And the whole point of this foundation is how beautiful and skin-like it is to begin with. So yeah, I think you're probably wasting your money if you're going to over apply this. But that's just my opinion. It comes in 40 different shades. It gives a radiant finish, but I would say it's a radiant blurring finish. It's not one of those radiant foundations that accentuates all pores and texture. That's just not what it does for me. I do find with this, if I do have some very dry areas, it does cling to some dry patches. So I have a little bit of dryness on my chin today, and if I zoom you in slightly, you will see it's settled and started to separate slightly on that areas where it's clung to the drier areas and not to the oilier areas. I am generally oilier in my T-zone, but for some reason today, dryness just won't go away. This blends super well. It's silky smooth and it's got a really silky soft finish when you touch your skin after you've applied this. The reason I won't be using this every single day of the week is that it has quite a high content of drying alcohol within the formula, and my skin is sensitive to drying alcohols. If your skin is the same, this may not be one for daily use for you, but it is beautiful all the same. But also, I do find this formula incredibly similar to the L'Oreal True Match Nude Serum Foundation, and that is a fraction of the price of this. Now, to me, the Armani Luminous Silk applies a little bit nicer. It's slightly thicker in consistency, even though it is a very loose consistency. The L'Oreal True Match Nude is much runnier than this one, in my opinion. And so I do have to concentrate a little bit more on the blending process of the L'Oreal foundation over this one. But it's very close. The wearability, longevity, finish on the skin, the way that it applies. I'm not saying it's a dupe by any means, but it's very similar, including down to the drying alcohols within the formula, which is why when I first tried the L'Oreal True Match Nude, I said in that video also it would not be a foundation for everyday wear for me. But take that as you will. This is gorgeous, and I'm really, truly really happy that I tried it. So thank you so much for all of your recommendations. They came and they just didn't stop. Everybody seems to absolutely love this, and for good reason. It's gorgeous. Honestly, this next recommendation, I know I've said this a lot throughout this video, but I've lost count how many people have recommended this to me, and it's been for at least a year. At least. The comment section, again, in my DMs, just flooded with people that absolutely swear by this, especially in a more mature skin category. So I will be trying this on my mum. I'm not sure this is going to be my mum's favorite because my mum likes something more medium coverage, and this is definitely sheer to light coverage. But for just sheer convenience and quickness on the go, this is phenomenal. The way it makes my skin feel, the way it makes my skin look. It looks like my skin, only better. I love it. I've not usually been a fan of colour changing CCs, BBs, foundations in the past. They've all gone very, very orangey on me. This one does not, and I just love it. This is from Armani, and it's the CC Cream. So I've been trying out a lot of Armani recently, over the last 6 months I'd say, and I've been loving a lot of their stuff. Apart from the Super BB, I was slightly underwhelmed by. I think I was expecting it to be something that it wasn't. It was slightly too much coverage for me, a little bit too on the heavy side, which is what I wasn't expecting, but I do understand why other people like it. It is not a bad product in any way, shape or form. It's just, it wasn't for me personally. It wasn't my thing. This one, way much more up my street. I wear this to football matches. I wear this to my kids' games if I want to put makeup on in the morning but I'm in a rush. This is what I reach for. It's like a moisturizer consistency, and that's exactly how you should apply it. So I first applied this with a brush and thought, I don't really know what's happening here. It's not doing anything. It needs the warmth of your fingers and the warmth of your skin. It needs to be massaged into the skin for it to really come alive, melt into the skin, be one with the skin, and give you that skin-like finish. It just looks radiant, and it looks like my skin, like I said, but better, way better. It looks like I've rolled out of bed like this, which I so haven't, and I just look fresh and just youthful and glowy, and my skin looks superb. All down to this. So really easy to apply, very quick to apply, just like a moisturizer. Get it into the skin. Yes, your fingers get a little messy. Yes, it gets down my nails sometimes, which ekes me out, but it is the way to apply this, and it is so super fast. I can forgive the mess. This combines a lot of French elements of skincare as well as a lot of Korean elements of skincare, and both of them intertwine and blend superbly well. This is just such a really beautiful, well thought out product. Yes, it's white when it comes out of the tube. No, it doesn't turn into the exact same shade as your natural skin tone. There is no product on the market that changes to your exact skin tone. It's just that because this is sheer, it is a color changing formula. It changes to a specific color, and because it's a sheer formula, there is a wide range of skin tones that this will suit. It's just very, very versatile. So you'll find that one shade suits a lot of different skin tones. I have the shade Claire, but I believe there are 4 shades to choose from in total. So this contains Centella Asiatica for its soothing and calming benefits. It's got vitamin E to nourish, hydrate, and also it's a great antioxidant as well. It's got honey extract in there to rebuild and regenerate. It's just a great formula with some beautiful ingredients. It's got an SPF of 25 in here. This is not to be used as a standalone SPF. You're not going to use enough of the product to get SPF 25 on the skin, so definitely only use that as a topper for your standalone SPF. The SPF ingredients are octinoxate, titanium dioxide, ethyl hexyl salicylate, and also zinc oxide nano. That is in the UK version. I'm not sure if the US version is identical. This also contains essential oils. It smells beautiful and zesty and fresh. If you're sensitive to essential oils, obviously this one won't be for you. It is free from all drying alcohols though, so it's a really nourishing and hydrating formula without being heavy. This is super lightweight. It's glowy and yet natural looking. It's just great. I am so thankful that you've recommended this and I have finally tried it. Finally. Always get there in the end. I think you're all going to be shocked for a couple of reasons with this next product. One, you're going to be shocked that I don't already own this. And two, you're going to be even more shocked that I have never tried this. This is a cult product and I am a huge fan of Givenchy. A lot of my ride or die products are from Givenchy. Givenchy is one of my favorite luxury brands. 90% of the things that I've tried I have absolutely adored. And yeah, I'm not quite sure why I've never tried this. Paul is one of my favorite people on the entire planet. If you don't know who Paul is, I speak about him quite a lot. If you live anywhere near Sheffield, visit Meadowhall Shopping Centre, go into flannels. He works on the Givenchy counter. Tell him I said hi. He is a wealth of knowledge where Givenchy is concerned, and he is so enthusiastic about the brand. He loves it so much. It is hypnotic. You just cannot help yourself. If you are on a low buy, do not visit Paul. He will bat that out of you straight away. Anyway, he never got me to buy this, so when I saw all of your comments regarding this product, I thought it's time to bite the bullet. I have to buy this and try it for myself, and it did not disappoint. You were not wrong. Why have I not tried this before? This is the Givenchy Prism Libre Loose Powder. So these come in 5 or 6 different shades, I think. They are all translucent base though, so although they do have some colour to them, they are universal, so you should be able to get away with several of the shades, not just one. So I've gone for the shade 3, which is just, oh, it's just to die for. Just look how beautiful those shades are. And mixed together, they blur, they soften, they airbrush. Such finely milled powder. This doesn't feel like powder. It immediately melts into the skin, softening everything off, making everything feel silky, smooth, and just, oh, just gorgeous. And yet there is not a fleck of powder left on the surface of the skin. So if you are frightened of powder, if you feel like your skin looks powdery every time you've used a powder, try this one because you do not get that effect, or at least I've never got that effect with this, and I've had it in my possession since just after Christmas and it hasn't been off my skin. It is just beautiful. It feels expensive, which is a good job because it seriously is, but you get a lot for your money. This lasts a long time and it hardly looks used. I mean, you wouldn't know that I've been using this for a long time. I say a long time. It's a month. I mean, it's not really a long time, is it? But you wouldn't know that any product had been taken out of this. I mean, it still looks completely full. This is such a versatile powder, which is why I think it is superb. Usually when I get a translucent powder, I do not apply any underneath my eye. It is a major no-no for me. The powder that I tend to use underneath my eye is my Pat McGrath under eye blurring powder, which I think is superb and has never made my under eyes look powdery or dry. Usually a translucent powder will leave residue. It will also make my under eyes look crinkly and dehydrated. This does not do that. And the pinky tones in this powder help to disguise my under eye circles even further. I mean, I do use a color corrector and I do use a concealer, but this on top just adds that little bit extra, which is always a benefit, in my opinion. Just like the Lan Lip Sleeping Mask, this also comes in a mini. So if you don't want to shell out for the full-size version immediately, but you are desperate to get your hands on this, then the miniature may be the way to go for you. And with the mini, you still get quite a lot of product. Obviously, gram for gram, it's not as good value for money, but this is gonna last me for a really long time. You're also gonna get a lot of wear out of the miniature as well. So it just depends on how you look at it, which one is going to be best value for you. you. On the other hand, you could visit your local Givenchy counter and ask them if they could apply some to your skin to see what you thought about it before you bought. I mean, if you do have a local Givenchy counter near you, then they are usually extremely good. And if you ask nicely, they may apply some other products to your skin as well and give you a full makeover. Bonus. And finally, we're talking about Chanel. This is the Chanel Le Volume Mascara, and it is beautiful. There weren't actually that many people that recommended this. There were only a couple, but it was enough for me. You know how I gush over Chanel. You know how just one mention of Chanel and I am already at the counter. I just can't resist it. It's just one of those brands that does it for me. Very few brands do that, but Chanel definitely delivers in spades. This is really nice. So it's a lovely formula, but not only that, it's got a great wand, it's very easy to apply, and I've got the waterproof version, which is superb. And not only is it waterproof, so it doesn't smudge, it doesn't bleed, it wears all day and holds a curl, but it's really easy to remove for a waterproof formula, and I've never found that before until this formula. I've never really had a problem spending a little bit longer removing a waterproof formula from my lashes using an oil cleanser or a balm cleanser. It's just never been a problem for me. It's just one of those things that I thought you always had to do with a waterproof product. Not this one. It removes effortlessly, very, very quickly, so that is a major positive for me. The wand is ideal for getting the product on the lashes quite quickly, but keeping each individual lash separated and applying the product evenly throughout. So not one lash gets more product than the other. It's very even application and it doesn't go clumpy, but it gives you the volume that I personally love. This also comes in separate shades. As you'll have seen, I have the brown, but this also comes in a black. I think it comes in a very deep black as well, and it may come in a blue. Don't quote me on that, I may be wrong. I'm pretty sure I've seen it in a blue. I may have dreamt that. And yes, I do dream about visiting the Chanel counter. They are the dreams that I wish for before I go to sleep every single night. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for sending over all of your recommendations. I've thoroughly enjoyed trying and testing them out and finding new loves. Please keep your recommendations coming. I will keep the community tab post open so that you can add to it over time. And although my credit card is weeping slightly at the moment, I will continue to buy your recommendations and try them out for myself. And hopefully, if you've enjoyed this concept, do future videos like this in the future. I have popped another couple of videos over here for you that I think you may enjoy. If you haven't subscribed already, I'd love it if you do that now and click on the notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. Hope to see you all in the next one. Bye everyone.